Alright, there we go. Alright. Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Forge of Worlds. Today we're going to be working on Gnolls and half-demons. Because Gnolls are a type of half-demon. Or they straight up... Actually, I can't remember whether or not they're fiends or monstrosities in the Forgotten Realms. And either way, they will be a part of the conversation that we will be having today. So, let's head over to the world-building document. Alright, here we go. One node is up. Also, alright, so you may have noticed, we're doing this from a different angle now. Which, personally, I am very happy to say, because the old camera was terrible. I hated it. As well as that, that's not the only thing we've upgraded here. The follow animation, one of my good friends, Jump Off Fluff, actually, made a little animation, which people will see if someone new follows, so feel free to let your friends know to get them to show the animation for you. Alright, so, like I said, we are working on Gnolls and half-demons, half-fiends. Last time when we were working on devils and demons, I made the mistake of treating them like they were people, when I should have more been treating them as as more like a force of nature kind of thing. So with yes, D&D, Devils and Demons. That's absolutely correct. That's totally what D&D stands for. But yes, so I was basically treating demons and devils like people instead of forces of nature. Which... My cam's covering chat. Ah, god damn it. There we go. Fixed. Thank you for that, Murmur. Alright. Yes, thank you. I am in love with this new camera angle. It is so much better. Honestly, before was terrible. Alright. So demons, devils. I'm going to see, I'm split. Because half-fiends and gnolls are not... They aren't just creatures, they are actual people. So I'm not sure if I should put them in humanoids and PCs, or fiends. I may... You know what? I'm gonna put them in humanoids and PCs, because then I can make a full section for them. So half... No, in the section. Half... No, what I... half fiends... Now let me name the section? Yes. Alright. So, first things first, we'll be working on Gnolls, because they're my favorite half-fiend. They're the best. Sorry, I've got to get used to looking over this way when I'm referring to people. So yes, Gnolls. We obviously do not have Yinogu within this world. Instead, we would have another demon lord creating them. So we could choose any of these characters, really. I'm thinking the Lord of Lords. I dislike that. Hold on. I need to change that. The Overlord. Cannot get more evil demon than being straight up called the Overlord. I love it. I just realized, I feel like the camera has... Hold on. Better. The axe? Yes, it could. The axe could have made them. I'm thinking either the axe or the decayed. Because I don't quite remember how hyenas hunt, whether or not they are. I don't think they're carrion hunters. Actually, maybe they are. No, I think they are. So it could be either the decayed or the axe. Yeah, some good things, Oak 121. How are you? I think we're gonna get the axe, Zelexcuel, to be the. I'm not going to bother typing that out again. So that's humanoids and PCs. Gnolls. That's good to hear, Oak 121. It's nice to have you on stream. So yes, Zelexcuel was the creator of the Gnolls. Now, I don't recall what the original story is of Gnolls and how they were created. So instead, I'm not going to bother with that. I'm gonna say it was made differently because I can, and this is my world. With Gnolls in particular, I like the idea. The idea of them coming directly from hyenas, which I believe is what happened in the classic lore. But yeah, thank you, Twitch soundtrack for the music. Thank you very much, Oak121. And yes, we have Jumper Fluff's wonderful wizard for the follower announcement. Thank you very much, Oak121. So yes, Zelexcuel was the creator of the Gnolls. Now we need to have a reason for why this happened. So what they would have needed to have knowledge of the material plane, because the hyenas are material plane creatures as opposed to demons and devils, which are not. So this would have happened fairly recently. I'd probably say past 100 years, a couple hundred years. So I think I think it happened on an incursion. Yeah, so we'll say that while an avatar of the Demon Lord was leading an incursion on the material plane, a gnoll. Good question, Momo. A gnoll is basically a hyena person. Actually, you know what? Let's get up a picture. Hopefully my stream doesn't disconnect. A gnoll is, here we go, hyena person. Pretty low quality image, but hopefully you get the idea based on that. They are half fiends, well, full fiends, something like that in the original, but I like... Half fiends pose an interesting question, where demons and devils are forces of nature. Half fiends are partly mortal creatures. They are not these forces of nature, they are people. So, as such, they form a society. And what that society looks like should be cool. Because once you talk to people, often people get better at talking and get better at communicating ideas. And because of that, okay, stereotypically in classic fantasy, Gnolls were used as one of the placeholder evil races, like the orcs and what have you. But as I was mentioning, they're people. People aren't just evil for the sake of being evil. They tend to have a reason for it. And Gnolls, being people, have the ability to choose and be good, and what have you. So I enjoy changing things, because I can. But anyway, we'll get onto the details on all of that later. For now, we're working on their origin. So, while an avatar of the Demon Lord was leading an incursion on the material plane, because the actual Demon Lord being there would... Gnolls are kinda hot? I'm not going to disagree. Anywho, while the Demon Lord was leading an incursion on the material plane... Oh yeah, an avatar of the Demon Lord. Because if an actual Demon Lord was there, it'd mean some bad shit was happening. And we don't want the world to be that bad quite yet. We'll get there. Maybe within an adventure. We'll see. But, while an avatar of the Demon Lord was leading an incursion on the material plane, they found that their legion was diminishing. And because of that, they needed new underlings. They took natural inhabitants of the material plane, hyenas, and imbued them with demonic energy, granting them new forms and greater what? Greater minds? That works. Alright, so actually, with this, with this lore that we've got here, saying that there was an incursion, we need to figure out what that incursion is. So I'll put that in notes, actually. Because a full-on demon incursion means it was big. So, demon incursion, Gnolls created. So I'll just leave that note there so I can flesh that out. Good question, Dibs52. My answer is probably their minds were enslaved at the time. While they were underlings of Zulexkuel, or at least their avatar, they would probably be mindless underlings working underneath them. But then once that avatar's gone, the connection would have been severed. And once that's happened, once that connection is lost and they are no longer like basically a hive mind under the Demon Lord, they would be basically just people walking around within the world. And from there they would expand and differentiate. That's probably what's going to happen. I'll work on it as we go. So yes, they were granted new forms and greater minds. Over time, they expanded, being able to... so, demons and devils do not procreate. Not normally. Oh, thank you, Oak121. Pathfinder Wiki on Gnolls. I will check that out. But yes, so over time they expanded, being able to procreate, unlike demons and devils, because demons and devils are created within the plane of fiends, instead of the regular hanky-panky. Being able to procreate, unlike demons and devils. And eventually, over time they expanded, gaining a greater population. Gaining a greater population. We'll leave it there. So, from there, so at some point, the armies of demons and Zilex, you will. I love giving myself character names that are difficult to pronounce and write. At some point, the armies of demons and Zuexquil's avatar were driven back to the plane of demons. Some Gnolls were sent back there. Also, get onto those, because those Gnolls are not, would not be Gnolls eventually. I'll explain that later. We'll go back to, that's where we'll go back to the creatures and fiends tab. These are half-fiends, so some Gnolls were sent back there also, but a large portion of them were separated. Actually, wait, did I? Hold on, I didn't mention. Hold on. They were mentally. They were mentally enslaved by the Avatar and acted as minions and servants. Right, over time they expanded, being able to poke around and da-da-da-da. At some point, the armies of demons and Zelexquil's avatar were driven back to the plane of demons. Some Gnolls were sent back there also, but a large portion of them were separated and left on the material plane. What was the recent push to remove the stereotype? Do you include any typical evil monsters or more determined level of evil for the players to deal with? Good question, Dibs52. That is a traditional thing, and Wizards has been pushing to remove that stereotype. And I do have typically evil creatures, those being fiends and fiends, demons and devils, and aberrations. Those creatures I'm saying creatures specifically because they aren't people. They are specifically like forces of nature. They don't have the they don't have the choice between good and evil. It's just like they are those things. I'm finding it difficult to put into words. It's like a grenade is not good or evil. The ideas behind a grenade and the things that people use them for are evil, but the grenade itself is not inherently evil. So demons and devils and stuff are essentially a grenade. That's the closest way I can explain it. There's probably a better way of wording it, and people much more eloquent than me would be able to phrase it better. But that's the closest thing I've got. The Holy Hand Grenade. Holy Hand Grenade would be angels. So Holy Hand Grenade is angels. They are also not good or evil. They are merely other beings. Whereas demons and devils are less Holy Hand Grenade. Unholy Hand Grenade. Yeah, that kind of thing. I may get into that a bit more later once I know more about philosophy and ideas. So yes. Alright, so those that were left on the material plane. Hold on. Just a sec, I need to. Apologies for that. For the abrupt break. I've had a bit of a cough recently, so I needed to get some water. Hold on, let me just read this Dibs 52. I love to work in different cultures and may all based on culture, but in your setting, then what is the interpolitical relation between the races of humanity that may not be evil but raid and pillage based on culture? Nomadic lifestyle too. How do you keep a general humanity force people? Alright, so also a good question, Dibs 52. Thank you for the insight within this. So honestly, I don't know yet. I haven't gotten that far on the on societies that raid and pillage at the moment. I haven't actually gotten to those bits yet. Once I start fleshing out the society within Tolera specifically, I feel like I'll be able to get to that. Like, hold on. Going over the map. So this is basically the entirety of the material plane that I've got so far. So there will probably be some kind of raiding or pillaging society somewhere among here. I haven't come up with those yet, and those societies, I doubt they will be made up of a specific race. They will be, as I said, societies. Maybe a tendency, but either way, it'll be based more on geographic location rather than species. Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen. I don't know. Figure that out when we get to it. Alrighty. Back to Gnolls. Alright, so some were left on the material plane. Many of them, once they... so many of them fled. No, we do not need those commas there. Leaving behind the war zone and war camps that they were created and raised in. So, no, hard-hitting. Those questions are good, Dibs 52. It means that there's lots for me to work on. And you know what? Actually, now that I've mentioned it, raiding societies, because there will be raiding societies somewhere. I just do not know which ones they are, and that is something that I will need to work on. So, no, yes, thank you very much. But, oh yeah, sure thing. If people would like, I can put this map up somewhere else. I don't know where. Maybe I don't know, make a Google Doc or just get it online. Or no. Yeah, so I can put this map somewhere. Not sure where. If people would prefer. Not a problem, Dibs. Alrighty. Back to Gnolls. We probably won't get to other half fiends at the moment, because this is actually taking a bit longer than I thought it would. We may work on the other half fiends later. Alright. So those ones left, and I feel like you mentioned raiding and pillaging cultures, Dibs, but you also mentioned nomadic lifestyles, and I feel like because the Gnolls are within a more or less surrounded world. I'm not sure, but most of the rest of the world is populated. There might be small enclaves of Gnolls, or Gnolls somewhere else. I'm not sure where, but I feel like the majority of them would have become nomadic. Because they left there and they didn't have a place to go, so ever since they've sort of just been wandering, trading. Maybe some Gnoll families and such are known as traders. They move between places on the material plane. Alright, so many of them fled, leaving the war zone that they were created and raised in, and many of them have not stopped moving since. Most Gnoll societies are nomadic ones, moving between and around most purely Gnoll societies? I can't say mostly Gnoll societies. That's bad. There's a word that I'm looking for and I don't know what it is. We'll get back to that. Moving between and around other settlements and the wilds. Primarily. That's the word. So most primarily Gnoll societies are nomadic ones, because one thing which we established early on in the streams, world-building streams, which you can see on YouTube if you'd like, was that everywhere on the material plane, and especially since it's so small, because deciding now what is on that map, what is Tolera, is all of it. So because it's so small, people mingle a lot, and because of how long it's been around, it's incredibly rare, if not nigh impossible, to find a society or a group which is purely a single species. Some species have a higher rank within that society than others, but that entirely depends on other things. Like, we figured out that the nobility within... Where is it? Places of note. The nobility within... the nobility in South North, in Himeria, is made up of mostly humans. Himeria is... That is what Himeria is known for. It's a human-run civilization, but it's maybe maximum 20% human. And then so many other people. Because I like that. It's small, and it makes sense to me. So yes, they're mostly nomadic, moving between and around other settlements and the wilds. Some Gnolls joined other settlements, as many species want to do, and have set themselves up within other society. But we do need to address one thing, and that was the society that they were living in before, and how that's affected the worldview of the Gnolls within that society. So, it only happened a couple hundred years ago. So there are some people around that remember the creation of Gnolls, and remember a time when Gnolls were not a thing. But Gnolls... What is it? Actually, is... Alright, looking at the Pathfinder wiki, I'll probably use that. Do they have a... general age? I don't think they do. How long do Gnolls live? Let's look that up. Alrighty. 30. So yes, I was thinking that before. Gnolls, I believe, would have very short lifespans. I don't think 30. I think 30 is a little low. Maybe we'll go 60 like Dragonborn. But either way, it's only... it has still only been a couple generations since they were mentally enslaved by Zulexcuil. And there would be some things which would have affected that. 30 is sad. I was thinking, oh yeah, they've got a pretty short age. And at first I saw 30 and I'm like, alright, sure. And I was like, no, that's... Because I'm just imagining, like... you've got a buddy. Like a work buddy who's a gnoll. And then... You're with them for like 15 years at work. And then they just die of old age. That quickly. It's like, Look, it's already sad enough that humans die as early as they do. Aarakocra become adults at 3? Interesting. Interesting. Actually, I don't think there's Aarakocra in my world. Species. No, I actually did not put Aarakocra in this world. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. Adults at 3. I wonder how long they live and everything. Although I will not be working on that at the moment because we are... Oh, they also die at 30. Wow, that's crazy. Damn, some species in D&D just don't live that long, huh? Anywho. Although the Demon Lord has lost control over the Gnolls. Some aspects of the society that they were in still lives on among certain sects. So, yeah, gnomes and elves living crazy long it basically makes it really... It makes it sad either way, because if you think that the difference between living to, like, 80 and 30 is big, it's like the difference between living to 80 and 700 is freaking huge. So, that's often why elves are characterized as very sad people. When that is addressed within the within a story, that is it usually makes the elves very sad, or at least very alien, sad or alien, or both, depending. Like Tolkien's elves, that and elf archdruids are crazy. I've thought about that so much. So it's nice to have you here, Ancatus. Ancatus? Is that how I pronounce it? Ancatus? Not sure. Yes. Back to Gnolls. Keep going on tangents. So... What was it? So certain sects of Gnolls... Second one's right. Ancatus. I don't remember which one was which. I think I said 3. Alrighty. Righty. So, some groups of Gnolls, particularly the warriors, trees in the North Evergreen. You know what? I haven't figured out what types of trees are everywhere. I'd probably say that the ones to the north are more conifers, pines. The south, I'd say, are probably... don't remember the different types. They're escaping me now. Like, oaks and what have you. I don't remember. Yeah. Yeah, well, you think it's a cute island. That's the entirety of the material plane. It's, not a problem. I enjoy people asking about it. It's great to hear. Yes, so particularly the warriors directly... Particularly the warriors on the front lines still have not been able to remove themselves from the ideas that... No. Actually, warriors on the front lines are long dead, so particularly some groups of Gnolls, particularly the descendants of the warriors on the front lines of the demon incursion, have not been able to remove themselves from the ideas that... Hello, Rojal, it's nice to have you here. Material plane is a pocket dimension? It is... Well, it's one of many dimensions. If... I don't remember if it was... I think it might have been the 5th stream that we worked on the Shattering, which was the creation of the material... The creation of other planes. So, when the Realm of Dreams, which is essentially the astral plane, and the material realm were separated into the respective deities that rule over them. So, the material plane could be considered a pocket dimension, I guess, but in the same sense, most dimensions are all dimensions are really pocket dimensions. It was meant to be a lot bigger, but the event is called the Shattering for a reason. So yeah, when... So, alright. Let me quickly explain the material plane for those that are new. Long ago, everything was together. Everything was the same. Yes, a lot of stuff broke, Rojal. But long ago, everything was one thing, ruled by all of the deities. Those deities being Lofdun, Jil, Ros, Tizk, and Earth, and Yavoth, Tilaktha, and Ainsoyak. Those are the dream deities and the old deities. Actually, let's look at the Shattering. So, while they were one and the same, Loth, the essential leader of the old deities, approached all of the gods asking for their aid and wished to split the universe between the material gods and the dreaming gods. So the dreaming gods rule over the astral plane and whatever. They tried to split, and during that, some of the other gods were like, no, we don't want to do that. And so they started messing with it. And when they messed with it, it caused everything to go tits up, and now everything is broken and scattered and fallen apart. And from there we get the plane of demons, the plane of shadow, the plane of... I'm pretty sure we've got the Feywild as well. Yeah. So there's lots of different planes, and because of that, it's left me a lot of space to put anything in the cosmological junk drawer. Drink water, stay hydrated. Alright, anyway, back to this. From the ideas that the Warzone created. Those that were not warriors and leaders left and surrendered. Left, surrendered, or otherwise grew apart from the ideas that the incursion perpetuated. Yes, gods can really mess stuff up. No, that was mostly an accident. They were more hoping that everything would just... they'd be able to stop it completely. But that didn't work at all. They underestimated the power that it would require. And because of that, instead of having a complete nullification of it, it ended up tearing everything apart. Which is actually one of the reasons why demons and devils are different, because they're both part of the same cloth, the same demiplane, but one side is the side that was torn away, and one side is still just a little bit. How good are roads and shipping routes? Haven't figured that out yet. So far, the only society that we've done work on is Himeria, which is just basically this bit right there. So I haven't figured out the roads and stuff yet. And yes, Momo is right. Don't forget to hit the follow button if you haven't. There's a neat little wizard animation that goes, made by my good friend Jumpler Fluff. That was odd. Must have been my... Yeah, the world wasn't the only thing that got ripped apart. My internet as well, although, what's new? Alright, hopefully... we're dropping a lot of frames at the moment. Hopefully it all settles back to normal soon. If not, we're close to the end of the stream anyway. But hopefully it stays for now. Hopefully we're fine. Alright, back to it. So, like with trade, this area right here within... where would this be? Actually, you know what? This might actually be its own bit. Possibly. Or it could be split between Dalesworn and... Actually, no, this would be Dalesworn. Dalesworn is the biggest one. That's where that is covered. And it's so big because that is the biggest trade hub within... that's the biggest trade hub within the entirety of the material plane. That's where you go to get everything. It's basically like the Mediterranean. The medieval Mediterranean. But yes. Anyway, back to Gnolls. Back to Gnolls. So yes, some of these Gnolls, they, instead of continuing with the things they were taught, or things they weren't taught if they were very young, they left and created their own societies, and that's what the majority of them are, because they survived. They were not brash and doing things, but there are still some Gnolls that have just been trained like that, and because of that, well, not because of that, that's just the thing. Anywho, what else can we say about them? Actually, is that it? Those that were not warriors and leaders left, surrendered, or otherwise grew apart from the ideas that the incursion perpetuated. Alright, how about we just... So, I think that's a good basis for the origin. Yeah, that's a good basis for the origin of, the Gnolls. Hold on, looking at this. Oh! Oh, shit, that's... If everyone looks in chat, Dibs... that's really sick. Thank you so much, Dibs. That's awesome. Yeah, if you look in chat, Dibs has started work on another map of Tolera, which looks a bit cooler than mine, so... Thank you for the follow, Dibs. I hope to see you again. But yeah, Gnolls are half-fiends, yes. So they were created by a demon from creatures on the material plane. So that's why they aren't full fiends, because they aren't purely from the plane of demons and devils. They were hyenas that have been imbued with demonic energy. Which is also why they can be considered people, and less forces of nature, like I was describing demons as before. Alright, looks like the stream's getting back to normal. That's really awesome to hear, Dibs. I've done a little bit of cartography myself. Not most stuff, not much more than what I've got for Talera at the moment. Actually, hold on a moment. I have done a bit more. Where is it? Sorry, someone mentioned cartography, so I just had to. So this is for an old world of mine, which I didn't end up finishing much, but I planned to have this behind me every time I was running. But obviously I have not been doing much work on this world recently, and I'm currently working on another one. Never know, maybe I'll get another map for Talera, which I'll do this with. Oh my god, that was so dusty. There's dust everywhere. That was a mistake. Ah, boy. Join the Forge of Worlds stream where you can see Ollie make mistakes everywhere. Alright. Done a lot of tangents today, and honestly, it's been really fun. This has been a good stream, I have to say. So we'll go for about 10 minutes more. After that, it's probably about dinner time. Anywho, back to this. We've done their origin. Now let's work on Gnoll society. So, Gnolls, like hyenas... actually wait, society or... what they are physically like. Physical attributes. Now, you know what? Let's do society. So, Gnolls... primarily... no, societies that are made up of Gnolls primarily tend to be matriarchies, much like hyena societies. Because that is nice to hear, Dibs. And feel free to shamelessly self-promote on this channel. I do it all the time elsewhere, so feel free to do so here. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But yeah. So, yes, hyena societies. The females tend to be the leaders of the packs and are generally bigger. So I feel like since they are based on animals, we'll work with that a bit. Alright. Hold on just a sec. I will be right back. Gotta go do something. Hello again, everyone. Apologies for all the interruptions that we've had for this stream, but yes, we are back, and let's finish off the stuff that we've got for the Gnolls. So societies that are made up of Gnolls primarily tend to be matriarchies, much like hyena societies. And you know what? You know what? I think while the... How do I word this? So they tend to be matriarchies. Most packs, usually, you know what? I'm gonna say that they're referred to as packs. The traveling societies of Gnolls. So most packs are led by a single matriarch. Getting interruptions everywhere today. Alright, sorry about that. So most packs led by a single matriarch, determined by a trial by combat when the previous matriarch dies, rescinds, that's not how you spell it, rescinds their title, rescinds her title, or is challenged by another Gnoll. So, ooh, hell yeah. Okay. Just a sec. Looking in chat, looking at some. Oh wow, these are cool. Some more of Dibs's other work. Some of the. Whoa, these are cool. These are good. Wow. Damn, that's awesome. Do you take commissions, Dibs? Or is this just like a little hobby that you, bit of a hobby? Because if you take commissions, sometime in the future, I will probably need to make more maps for. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. If you wanna, feel free to link your details and socials and stuff in chat. I'm definitely gonna be following after that. But yes. Matriarch is determined in a trial by combat. Specifically a ceremonial trial by combat. It is inherently ceremonial, but I'm gonna specify that for stuff. City, village, and world. Awesome. I will keep that in mind for if we need more maps for this stream. Yeah, I want to specify it's ceremonial because over time, they haven't... obviously, you still need a strong... most packs being nomadic require a strong, physically strong leader in order to... Ooh, awesome. Getting this, and I'm gonna save that quickly. No, I'm just going to keep that and save that later. Thank you very much, Dibs. I will keep you in mind for later. But yes, being nomadic, they have to survive among the wilds where all of the beasties and creatures threatening your survival at all times. So they need a physically strong leader as well as a regularly capable one. So that's why they still use trial by combat. Yeah, alright. So that's how their leaders work. And I think... Thank you for the follow, Azarian105. I am not sure if we're going to do much else on Gnolls tonight, because we are getting to time now. So I think... You know what? I think we might actually leave it there. What is being done now? Just this stream, we've worked on Gnolls, Azarian. We have worked on their origin, how they were created by the avatar of a demon lord, leaning an incursion on the material plane. When their legion was diminishing, they took inhabitants of the material plane, namely hyenas, and imbued them with demonic energy, turning them into gnolls. When the demon lord was pushed away, they and the other demons were absconded from the material plane. The gnolls, who were previously under a mental enslavement by the demon lord, were now free, and are now just people. Some gnolls joined settlements after that, as many species are wont to do, but most of them, the majority of them, became a nomadic people. They traveled around, not having a home for themselves. And then we figured out what that society is, namely that it's a matriarchy, much like most hyena societies. Most packs are led by a single matriarch determined by ceremonial trial by combat. When the previous matriarch dies, rescinds her title, or is challenged by another gnoll. There are some gnolls, namely the ones that were descendants of the frontline fighters for the demon lord. And those ones are still very much warlike. They still hold those same values. There has not been much time since their conception for them to change as a society. So it's still they're still very much in their cultural identities, basically those two distinct ideas. Like even the ones that didn't become nomadic and aren't those warlike ones, the ones that like joined other societies, joined other settlements, they still very much see themselves as like part of the pack. They definitely that cultural identity still hasn't shifted very much because, as I mentioned, it only happened a couple hundred years ago. I think that about sums it up. Pretty much. I think so. Yeah. So we didn't get through too much. I went on a lot of tangents and had a couple of interruptions, but honestly, this has been one of my favorite streams so far. It's been nice to have so many people in chat talking and so many people doing things, and Dibs just created a fancier version of my map for Tolera, and seeing other people create things based on the things I've made already is pretty cool. So yeah, let's call that the stream done for tonight. So thank you all for watching. I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah, thank you very much, Dibs. I will definitely keep big chill on this one. I would say the same, except it is 6 p.m. here at the moment. So yes, like I was just saying, I stream 5 till 6 on a Tuesday, 4 till 5 on a Thursday, 9 a.m. Damn. Yeah, so those are the times I stream. Feel free to follow on Twitch. You get to see the little wizard jump up and down made by my friend Jumper Fluff. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. That's where I announce my other streams. Sometimes I do some gaming streams just casually out of the blue. I'm currently playing Hades and Soma if you want to see those. The VODs for these world-building streams will eventually go up on YouTube. I'm a couple episodes behind, but they will get up there eventually, I promise. So yes, other than that, I believe that's the stream done. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you later.